Hello everyone, welcome to another video. This time we're doing a quick video on the budget of the mansion. I promised I'd give my thoughts on it and hopefully a couple of tips of how to decorate this absolutely huge prefab on a very tight budget. So let's jump straight into it. First things first, my budget, as you can see on screen, is absolutely maxed out. I physically cannot put anything else down, even if I go into the smallest of items. You'll see there it's been exceeded actually, which is a bit of an odd message. So I've managed to squeeze in 3 or 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, kitchen, dining area, an extra study on the side here with an extension, the balcony, a bit of decoration out the front. So there's a lot squeezed into this build. So it's definitely a difficult one to decorate, without making it look too sparse. You can see here I've got things on the entrance hall, one of the bedrooms downstairs with quite a nice bit of clutter in there, front room, or living area, sorry I should say, and so on and so forth. So we'll go through, I'll just give you some hints and tips on how to decorate such a huge prefab with the limited budget we have. Let's hope Bethesda increases it at some point. You can see here the kitchen hasn't got too much in there, so I've gone for the sort of minimalist approach here, and the same as in here. I've got just a few things on the shelves. So let's start going through and giving you guys some tips on how to get past this budget, which, as again you can see here, it's completely maxed out, but nothing in my stored items. So let's start with the exterior. So you can see from the outside of this thing that I have kept it quite minimal in terms of what I've actually added in. I've got some rose bushes here, some plants out the front, and that is pretty much all I've done out here or anywhere around the property. So I've kept it quite small. I've tried to space these out as much as I can, just so it's not a bland sort of opening, and it certainly helps. You've got those leaves going up the pillar there and up the left hand side of the building here as well, so it sort of just adds a bit of detail without going too much into your budget. So the tip here, keep it short, keep it sweet, and just decorate to the minimal amount you can, especially for those modern builders out there like I do, and it will hopefully make its way into what you can see here. So just sticking with the outside, what I did here was just, again, minimal details on the patio area, a couple of seating areas, a big rug, nothing on the table unfortunately because I ran out of budget, a barbecue piece there, and I did favour a extension on the bottom, so this is normally open. You can see some flowers there, plants, sorry, to give it a bit more detail, and I tried my best to match those bricks with the existing bricks of the building, to give myself a little extension for the study that you guys would have seen from my last video. You can see here I'm just going through. Again, there's enough detail in here so you know what the room is, you know what the purpose is, and that's really the aim you're going for. It's just to give it the bare basic details while it still looks, lived in, and people can tell what they're walking into. I've got some bullet holes in the back of that for some strange reason, but we'll move on to the interior. So just going into the front entrance hall here, I think we can all agree this place is huge, not the entrance, just the building itself, and there's quite a number of large rooms that my personal view would be just to break them up with some free place walls. You can see in the hallway I've kept it quite minimal, but again just giving it that welcome feeling, with a couple of details just spread around. So you don't need to go too crazy on this one, but you still can get yourself a nice little entrance hallway. What I mean by the free walls is use the free placement on the new build revamp, and just place some walls down just to really break the place up. What that allows you to do is put furniture slightly more sort of spread out, but still keeping a nice little walking space around the area. As you can see here, that's awkward, I can't actually get around that bit, but if I jump over it, the idea is you can get around the furniture. So you're still using the same amount of space, but it allows you to not make it look so spaced out and undetailed. Same with the kitchen, just whack the necessities down first and then use a few obvious objects just to show you what the room is, and again that just gives the illusion that it's lived in and detailed without actually going into too much of your budget. Same with the utility, we all know what this is: washer, dryer, bag, shelf, but a shelving unit there as well, and then a nice little detailed in the telephone, the radio, and that's your kitchen and diner done with minimal budget used. Same with this study, you can see through here, I showed you earlier on the video, small details just to really show what it is. Through to the living area, I didn't use any partition walls here because it just made sense to use the biggest furniture you can find, just take up as much room. Nice little coffee table using those bookshelves to create custom furniture at a low budget. These bookshelves don't take up that much budget at all, so you can really customise the place and make it modern without using a lot of budget, using the pre-existing decor items. So again, small details, but you can see what it is. I haven't got any lights in this place, simply because of budget issues. If you use lights, you're going to eat into your budget. Same with water items like this sink. I did have 2 here, but they take up more budget than they're worth. So again, half walls with a few bits on the top just to close that off instead of using loads of different cupboards and cabinets. And the same with the bathroom. Again, simple. People know what it is. It's not too, it's cluttered enough. And that's the downstairs. Just finishing off downstairs and then moving upstairs very quickly. So we've got a guest bedroom down here, and what I did again, because I like a nice little wardrobe, built-in wardrobe, I whacked a wall in there with the wallpaper on to make it look like a built-in closet or wardrobe, whatever you want to say. You got your bed, your standard stuff on the walls, and a nice little nook here with another 3-place wall. So this was a very open space here. You can see these 2 walls here are 3-place walls. Again, that just blocks this off, allows you to put a bathroom in the other side, and those 2 walls there as well. Everything else is the prefab itself, as you can see. And then if you plan it out nicely, you can make various little rooms, use up that budget nicely, and make the place not look too deserted or open. The only thing here on this upstairs hallway, a couple of details again, just to jazz it up a bit, and just use the existing flooring. I've used quite a lot of budget upgrading the flooring, as you can see, but I thought that was worth it. So again, it's small details, spread them out, but make them tie in to what the actual room is trying to do. So this is the hallway, so why would you have too many things, is the point here. So just going around the upstairs now. Again, I've used quite a number of 3-place walls up here just to break up this side, because this was all one room. So you can see here, everything here is 3-placed, including the doors, and so on. So we've got another bedroom here, very, very simple, built-in wardrobe, so you don't need anything else. It's one wall and it takes up less budget. You've got your side cabinets, your lights. They're the only lights I've got in the house, apart from the other rooms, of course. And then everything else does it for you, right? You've got a rug here, no lights, but you can tell it's a bedroom, it's lived in. Same with through here. I wanted a games room, so pool table, rug, TV or flat screen TV. Look at my other videos for that one. And then a few details like a bar and that sort of stuff, and a light as well there, just to make sure it really looks like a games room. Again, 3-place wall, bookshelves from downstairs because they take up less budget. Again, small bathroom, everyone knows what it is, and you can enjoy it that way. Out here on the patio, again, I've used quite a lot of budget on the floors, but I wanted them to look modern and nice, and I didn't think the roof and the walls were too bad, so I kept those. So again, small details spread out, and with these 3-place walls, it allows you to put stuff further away from the walls, so you can really spice the place up without using all of your budget on 1 room or 2 rooms. So just moving on to the last little places now. So this is the left side of the house. As you can see here, I've just put a few things in this hallway because it looks a bit boring and bland. I had a couple of comments about a fireplace in the hallway, but to be honest, it was the best thing I could find. So 2 ways to do that: 3-place it and line it up, or just whack a wall down, a doorway, attach it, remove the doorway. Either way, you can get this nice flush finish. Again, more bookcases up here, with 1 single painting and a couple of door handles, cabinet handles, sorry. And that is your hallway, so it looks quite nice here. So just moving down here, another bedroom here. Again, different furniture, so each room has got its own character and personality. You've got a couple of lamps, another built-in wardrobe. That's again free wall, wallpaper, bookshelves, as you can see there, just to finish it off and close that gap. A couple of details around the place, and a painting again with a rug, different colour. Make each room look independent to each other room, so you don't get boring same designs throughout the place. Main bathroom here, so again, little details here. Just block it off a tiny bit with some bookshelves, so the bath is nice and private. You've got this fantastic view out here. So again, that does a lot of the work for you in terms of just making it look lived in and nice. Again, small details, bookshelf, custom furniture, because I find it takes up less budget and you get a lot more of your own style in the build using that. Final room here, if I can open the door. Again, I decided to block this off very tactically. This is actually the hallway. If I can get through there we go, into the attic. So I ignored the attic, put my camp module up here, of course, so it's out of the way. And I blocked this off with a wardrobe so it looks nice, blocks the room off. It saves me a lot of budget for that extension that I made downstairs in the study. Again, different furniture items just to mix it up a bit, different colours, make it pop. You can see there the red pillow, cushion, whatever, matches the red rug. So just trying to tie those styles in. And again, clock on the wall, and that's it. So there's not too much in each of these rooms, as you can see, but it just allows you to really enjoy the place and enjoy the different rooms and different styles. Again, you've got that fantastic view out there onto Somersville. Yeah, so that's it. I think overall thoughts on this thing, the bigger the prefab, the more budget we need. I think it's very simple. I think everyone can agree with that. And I think Bethesda really needs to implement that sooner rather than later if they're going to keep giving us these prefabs, especially this one. This was probably the biggest prefab I know of. If I'm wrong on that one, please correct me in the comments. I think it's possible to decorate this. As you can see, I've had a lot of positive feedback on this one. A couple of people think it still looks less detailed than perhaps it should do, but as I say, the point is, for me it works because I do a modern style simple build. For those who prefer more clutter, they might not like it too much, but again, it's just, hopefully the next gen native version of Fallout 76 coming next year allows that bigger budget, a substantially bigger budget hopefully, but in the meantime, as I say, hints and tips: use free place walls, block out those rooms, or take out the bits that you don't want to use, or as I say, just use them to create smaller rooms like this one here, the bedroom. Instead of trying to fill a huge space, you can fill loads of small independent places with your own style and each technique on each one, and that allows you to get around the budget and squeeze it in. And so the very last thing I think I placed was this particular vase here. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully it allows you to get some ideas for your prefab mansion, but I'm definitely going to keep this one as one of my main camps, and hopefully you guys on PlayStation at least can come visit it and say hi, but in the meantime, like, subscribe, comment, and let's keep this going. Speak soon.